Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I got the Blackjack 24 on the freaking block. All right, we're gonna be prepping this boat up for some speed runs the next few days. You know, we won't get it out to the water in this video, but I'm just prepping it up, soldering up a new cap pack. This is a FLOPACK 3 and 4s capable cap pack. Okay. He sent this to me a few months ago to install on the 24, and I really hadn't had a pankering to run this boat. You know, I've had other projects, other agendas, you know. So I'm finally going to solder up the FLOPACK cap pack. We're going to give that a shot in the next few videos. I'm running a 90 amp Flycolor in the boat. It's already got a cap pack that I soldered up, an OSC style cap pack. I think the FLOPACK should be better. Okay, so we're going to put that on the boat. We're actually going to hook up a series connection for the new SMC 5200s and the Z5200s. I've literally only run these packs a couple times. They're brand freaking new. And we'll probably be running the 42 at the speed run spot while we have the 24. I got this TP power all soldered up, ready to roll, ready to be installed. All right, so I'm running a Hobbystar 3660 3250 kV. Okay, it's a high kV. I basically built this boat for speed runs. This period. That's what it's for. Speed runs. You know. All right, so stick around. Big V. What Ironclad RC. So I got my flex cable pulled out the collet there. Okay, go ahead and pull the cooling lines. I use silicone tubes to as like a zip tie type deal for my cooling lines so they don't blow off, okay, during high speed. Okay, we're going to loosen up the motor here, pull this off the mount. Pretty easy. That's one of the reasons I like this boat. It's such an easy boat to work on. You can literally do a motor swap in a couple minutes, you know. Such a fun little boat to build. And as you can see, I hadn't really done any customizations to the boat. I've been waiting on this electronics tray to pull loose so I can redo the inside of the boat. I've had this boat for a year and a half now, and the electronics tray is still holding tight. You know, as soon as that pulls loose or loosens up, I'm gonna pull all this and fully customize the boat. Until then, I'm gonna leave it in there. You know, it's doing fine. So let's get the motor unhooked here. I'm using 5.5 millimeter bullets. I had some hot bullet issues with 4mm, so I upgraded the bullets on my boat there. All right, and we got the ESC out. Let's go ahead and unhook the cooling lines and disconnect it from the receiver. Okay, so we can pull it all the way out because we're going to desolder this cap pack. This is an OSE Raider 6S cap pack. All right, we're going to desolder that and this guy here, put a new one on. Okay, all right, so the best way I found to get these connectors off is I've been using a damn cutting wheel, cutting the connector off the bullet, you know, and pulling my wires instead of trying to beat these things out and saving them. You know, they're no good. So I'm gonna cut it off. Makes it a lot easier, much easier. Check it out. Boom, done. Done. You know, waiting on my soldering iron to heat up here. So we need to actually carefully cut this heat shrink off here. I've already basically prepped it all up, you know. It's already got a cap pack on here, so it should be a fairly straightforward little install here, you know. So I've got the EC5 bullets off, which I probably could have left them on, but I'm going to put new ones on just because it'll make it easier. Go ahead and desolder this cap pack here. Alright, as you can see, my wires are already 10, so we don't really have to do a whole lot to this, you know, just kind of clean it up a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and cut our wires down. All right. Darn cap pack's just almost as big as damn ESC is. That hurt to do the trick, huh? So we need to cut these wires right here. Okay, now a cap pack is to help the ESC with current voltage drop. You know, voltage sag. You know, the batteries, they can only give so much at any given time. So the cap pack actually stores a little bit of voltage in the capacitors and stores it. So when the ESC needs the little bit of voltage during a voltage drop or a voltage sag on a hard trigger pull, the cap pack will give it to the ESC. You know, it just basically stores energy. That's about all they do. Some caps are better than other caps, you know. So we should see a little bit of performance gain, maybe a mile an hour or two on the top end, but maybe see a little cooler temperatures on the ESC. You know, I've experienced a little cooler temps and picked up a mile an hour or two using cap packs, especially FLOPACK CAP PACK. Check out FLOPACK. He's actually been doing a lot of cool stuff with boats. You know, he's been setting some high numbers with his boats, so check him out. Check Jason out at FLOPACK. We need to figure out how we're going to mount this thing up. Okay, the shorter the wire, the better. But my battery wires are really short. I got this cooling line in the way, and it's got to go positive to positive, negative to negative. You know, so I can't really make them too freaking short because the cap pack's going to be all up in the way. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna make them about. I really wanted to do it about right here, but I think I'm gonna go about right there. Give me a little room to play with. I almost cut them together. You don't really want to cut them together because this actually stores power. So if there's any juice in your cap pack, cutting the wires together may ground it out. Okay, and mess up your cap packs. So I caught myself there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tin up these wires. Steve Lane sent me this little guy right here. I guess they're probably pretty freaking cheap. I didn't really think I was gonna like it, and he sent it to me in a goodie box. But I've actually grown pretty fond of it. You just put your wire that you want to cut right there, and it just cuts the sheath off. Pretty freaking nifty, you know. I use it all the time, man. I've actually really enjoyed this thing. I like it a lot. Recommend it if you guys can find one. Never seen one before, but it works good, as you can see. Okay, so got my soldering iron heated back up. All right, and let's get this thing tinned up real quick so we can attach it to the ESC. All right, tinning it up. I'm just going to throw a little bit of flux on here. A lot of flux, too much flux. And I'm just going to put it in my little drill vise right here, so just kind of keep it in place while I solder it. All right, I actually just got this solder from eBay. It 0.8, 2% flux. And I just realized it was 6337, not 6040. So let's see how it does. I hadn't used it yet. Hopefully it'll be just as darn good as that 6040. I don't think it flows as good as a 6040, but we'll see here. Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, so red to red. Before you solder it on, you need to put some heat shrink on there. I cut mine really close to the speed control for that voltage flow, fast voltage flow, you know. So I'm having to use small heat shrinks, and you got to put your heat shrink on before. So you're definitely going to have to desolder all your connectors so you can put heat shrink on. And I'm actually going to solder this kind of at an angle like that, All right, because my wires are going to go this way to my batteries, and I want this kind of hanging out. Probably should have cut that one a little bit short, but I wasn't sure how that would work with the current flow. Okay, so I got my ESC. I'm going to heat up this wire and the ESC wire all in one shot here. Get that solder hot. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so I got it soldered up. Okay, it's not pretty, but it's on there. That 6337 solder is not that great. I don't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my heat shrinks on there. Okay, heat shrink it down and go ahead and put my EC5s on. I'm not going to freaking video that because you guys have seen me put EC5s on a gazillion times. Alright. I got the cap pack installed. Okay, it looks pretty good. Okay, probably just put some Velcro on the bottom and Velcro it down in the boat type deal so it don't move around or something else. I don't know until I get to it. Got my series connection on. Let's check polarity real quick. Always check polarity before you plug in your battery. So positive from the ESC to positive, negative to positive here. Let's check that. Positive, yep, and then negative to negative. Okay, so what I do after I solder up my connectors, a lot of times these terminals, they're a little bit too close to one another, so I just kind of get me a little piece of wire, stick in there, spread out the terminals so you get a good connection in your battery connector. Okay, that's pretty important. You want a nice current flow. Okay, it's all about the flow. All right, so let's get that in the boat. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I'm just going to hook it up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. D-U-N, done. It's a freaking hodgepodge, boys, but I don't care. I don't care. I got my ESC way up there to help keep the battery, the weight, the CG forward in the boat. The cap pack should help with that. Got it Velcro right here. Okay, my connectors going to each side of the boat here. Like I said, stock electronics tray, and I've actually modified it. I've cut the end piece off right here so I can actually mount my battery right there. And then this side right here, I used to run a single 4s pack with Velcro on it. That would help keep the battery in the boat. And I'm basically going to run my batteries like that. It'll be a little bit neater once I put my straps and everything on, but that's basically how I'll run this boat. I don't care how it looks. It's to set numbers. It's to get numbers with. That's it. That's all this boat's built for. Numbers. Hell, the hatch is cracked. Couple places right there. I've actually fiberglass epoxy the inside of it. I've actually fiberglassed in the sponsons all the way up both sponsons. Okay, I've cracked the sponson on this boat years ago right there. Fixed that. It's to get numbers. I don't care how it looks, you know. Once the electronics tray comes out, you know, once that all pulls out, hell, there might not be any boat left when the electronics tray comes out, but once that comes out, we'll kind of ironclad it out. Hell, it's ironcladded. It's hodgepodged. We'll see you next time. Big B with Ironclad RC.